They say evil has no age. But what if the mastermind behind a gruesome family massacre wasn't a serial killer, but a 15-year-old girl? She was born into a loving Christian home, her father a respected pastor and police officer, her mother a devoted homemaker, her siblings innocent and full of life. But behind closed doors, this teenage girl was planning something truly unspeakable. She didn't just want to run away. She wanted everyone gone, permanently. This isn't a horror film, it's real, and it shook an entire nation. This is the blood-curdling story of Onthabile Sebati, the South African teenager who plotted the cold-blooded slaughter of her entire family, faked her own survival, and almost got away with it. Brace yourself, because what you're about to hear will stay with you. Before we begin, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think someone can be born with a dark heart? Or is evil something learned? Like this video if you're ready to dive into one of the most chilling true crime cases we've ever covered. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that haunt, disturb, and captivate. Onthabile Sebati was born in 1999 in the quiet village of Macau in South Africa's northwest province. The village lies just a short drive from Gauteng, nestled in the countryside. She was the second daughter of Lucky and Matefu Sebati. Her father wasn't just a police constable at Hartbeespoort Police Station. He was also a pastor at the 12 Apostles Church and a successful funeral home owner. A man loved, respected, feared. The Sebati home was steeped in Christian values. Family members remember Onthabile as a sweet, obedient child. But something changed as she stepped into her teen years. What changed? Was it peer pressure? Was it a taste of rebellion that spiraled out of control? Onthabile began drinking, breaking rules, and showing signs of deep-rooted defiance. And behind those rebellious eyes, a plan was beginning to form. On December 6, 2016, Onthabile, just 15 years old, would execute a plan that would leave an entire community shattered. Earlier that year, she had begun contacting her cousin, Tumelo Makone, via Facebook and WhatsApp. At first, it was teenage venting. Her mother was too strict. She felt suffocated. She wanted freedom. But then her messages became darker, more calculated. She told Tumelo she needed her family gone. Forever. Let that sink in. A 15-year-old girl plotting the total erasure of her own bloodline. And this wasn't her first attempt. Months before the brutal night, Onthabile allegedly laced her family's dinner with sleeping pills. Her mother noticed a strange odor in the food and discarded it. That failed attempt only made Onthabile more determined. Imagine living under the same roof as someone who just tried to kill you, and you don't even know it. When December came, she was ready. She gave Tumelo and another cousin, Gareth Makone, her father's police-issued firearm. On the night of the murder, she pretended to step outside to throw out dishwater, but instead she opened the gate. She let the killers in. The two cousins moved silently through the home. The first shot rang out, striking Mr. Sebati, then Matefu, then her older sister, just 19 and 8 months pregnant. Finally, they turned the gun on 3-year-old Quinton, Onthabile's baby brother. Every member of the Sebati family had been murdered, except one, Onthabile, but she had prepared for that too. As the cousins fled, she asked them to shoot her in the thigh to make her story believable. She then smeared blood on herself and played dead. Think about that. A 15-year-old girl so calculated that she faked being a victim, shot herself just enough to convince the police. As they escaped, she handed them her father's car keys. They fled in his Chrysler Voyager, but the car got stuck in the mud and was abandoned nearby. Police would later find it and begin their investigation. Initially, the police arrested 2 men unrelated to the crime. The community believed it was a gang hit. After all, who would suspect a 15-year-old girl of orchestrating such a massacre? But by 2021, the story took a turn. Onthabile, now 21, confessed to family members while allegedly under the influence of drugs. It is believed her guilt, or perhaps her unraveling mental state, drove her to finally come clean. Her family encouraged her to tell the police everything. And she did. She detailed every step of the plan, every motive, every message, every lie. Although she tried to share the blame with her cousins, they both insisted that she was the mastermind. They said she had promised them $3,000 or roughly 50,000 South African rands each once she received her father's provident fund. And indeed, when she turned 18, the money came. The blood money. We're going to be rich, Ebby. We're going to be rich. In 2022, all three were tried. They retracted their confessions, claiming coercion. One said he was drunk when he confessed, but the judge allowed the confessions, backed by fingerprint evidence and payment records. In October 2024, the judgment was passed. Tumelo and Gareth, both 18 at the time of the crime, received 4 life sentences each. Onthabile, protected under the Child Justice Act, was sentenced to 25 years in prison. But here's the twist. Because the crime occurred when she was 15, her sentence was backdated to 2016. That means 8 years are already served. And under South African law, she could be eligible for parole after serving just half of her sentence. Yes, the girl who masterminded the cold-blooded execution of her entire family could walk free in less than 10 years. Let that settle. Is that justice? The tragedy of Onthabile Sebati serves as a terrifying reminder of what can happen when unchecked rebellion, entitlement, and emotional detachment take root in a young person's heart. One of the deepest moral takeaways is that evil doesn't always come in the form we expect. It can wear the face of a child, the voice of a daughter, or the smile of someone you raised. This story also reminds us of the importance of emotional connection within families. Onthabile didn't just kill her parents, she obliterated an entire household, including a pregnant sister and an innocent toddler. It forces us to ask, how did things fall so far? Were there missed signs? Could someone have intervened earlier? Open conversations, non-judgmental listening, and paying attention to behavioral shifts might save a life or several. Another powerful lesson here is how greed can rot the soul. To some, money is a means to survival, but to Onthabile, it was a reason to kill. She waited years, got her father's death benefits, then paid off her killers. Proof that her motivation wasn't spontaneous rage, but cold, calculated pursuit of gain. If we raise children without teaching the value of hard work, respect, and boundaries, we risk breeding hearts that measure life by what they can take rather than what they can give. Lastly, this story should challenge us to reconsider how we view rehabilitation versus justice. If someone can mastermind the massacre of their family at 15 and potentially walk free by 30, is that justice or a failure of it? If this story disturbed you, shocked you, or made you reflect on the darkness that can exist even in the youngest minds, let us know in the comments. Would you forgive Onthabile if she were your child? Or does this level of betrayal go beyond redemption? Tap the like button if you're still trying to process this horrific tale. Subscribe for more deep dive true crime stories that dig into the raw, painful, and often unbelievable realities of our world. We have more stories coming your way. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.